And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Monday, November 27th. I am Josh Engleman here to break down just a 5-game NBA slate. We've got an easy one for today. Should be some fun. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Whew. Good weekend, folks. Feeling refreshed. Get the Thanksgiving break. 1 day of work, off on Saturday, pop in for a process on Sunday. It's a good morning. It's a good morning. It's a Cyber Monday morning. You know what that means, right? Cyber Monday promo. That's what I've got for you. Link in the description. Promo code is value. The Sims for Black Friday, gone. That promo is long gone. If you want our NBA lineup generator for $4.95, use the promo code VALUE. Love to show you something. Don't have that ability right now. But if you use that promo code VALUE, if you click the link in the description of this video, you get our NBA lineup generator for $4.95. If you're a like 1 or 2 or 3 lineup type person, upwards of 20, and you're looking to just have a better understanding of lineups, this is what you're looking for. It's basically like Sims Ultralight. We handle all the generation on the back end for you. We create all of these lineups. We get rid of everything that doesn't grade out as a quality lineup. We present the rest to you. Click save if you like it. Click discard if you don't. You could lock players and swap players. You could generate contrarian lineups, balanced lineups, chalky lineups, all of that stuff. It's all available to you in the lineup generator, and it's only going to cost you $4.95 to do it. Just click the link. It's a hell of a deal. $4.95. It's a cup of coffee at Starbucks at this point. That's an insane thing. This could actually make you something other than just a little jittery. So, Cyber Monday promo. The promo code is value. Click the link in the description. Alrighty, guys. Ryan, how are my feelings after the Man City game? Look, I'll take a point on the road against City. Always. Did I think we looked good? Not really. We really had trouble getting that ball back, creating any legitimate chances. Do I think we should have had a point? Not really. I think that we probably lose if that hold on Allison goes the other direction, and I think it very easily could have. If they didn't call it on the pitch, I don't think they'd change it in VAR. So it could have gone the other way. But what are you gonna do? I'll take it. I don't think City was great either. Excited to get back to Anfield for that one. We should be sitting at the top of the table. The Tottenham bullshit to start the season is gonna cost us. We've seen it cost us. We know how much a point matters in the final standings. We've seen it happen. I think we've been within a point twice in the past 5 or 6 years. So hopefully that doesn't end up mattering. But all told, anytime you get a point at City, you're happy. Yeah, Trent, nasty, especially with his new Adidas boots on. But yeah, I mean, we should be. Look, we're obviously contenders, and that's all that I could hope for. It helps that we don't have like real European football going on this year. Maybe next year. Now, I say we get into it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really thirsty for some coffee. I had a great morning, guys. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. I want to start being more productive across all things in life, but I want to beat everybody to the punch. I don't want to be one of those jerk-offs that only do it on January 1st. So I started November 27th, woke up, had a nice big glass of water, knocked that back. Got to get myself hydrated. I did some breathing exercises for about 10 minutes. Invigorated, got the blood flowing. I did some stretching, a couple random stretches, some yoga pose type stuff. Never done this stuff before in the morning. Trying to start it off on a little bit of a different run. So I feel great. I got a lot of energy right now. We'll see where that ends up. Feeling good, though. Wanted to tell you guys, starting the morning off a little bit differently. So the new process is the process of me doing different stuff in the morning. I kind of like it. Made my coffee, big glass of water, breathing exercises, took some supplements, the fish oils, the vitamin Ds, all that good stuff. But now I take the coffee. I hope you guys have a coffee. It helps me out if you do. If you got tea or water or beer. I haven't had a drop of alcohol since I got back from my vacay last week. Nothing on Wednesday or Thursday, whole weekend, not a drop. I am feeling fresh as a daisy. Ooh, I missed it. Rise and grind. I looked to my left for the point when I should have looked straight ahead at my camera. Boom, rise and grind. See, I know where it is when I do that. We got the coffee. We got the cheers. Let's get into it. Let's have a great Monday. What else do we need to do? I think that's it. Anyone ever try that cold plunge? I want to buy one. I really do. I would never be able to do it if there were ice on the top. I would need it to just be like my own personal, like high dollar one, which is so dumb. Anyway, let's get into this. Let me share my screen. Let's break down some basketball. 5 games. We can take our time. And remember, you guys need to sign up for the Cyber package. Link in the description. Alrighty, first game up, and boy, oh boy, is it a doozy. The Washington Wizards are 3.5-point underdogs in Detroit, 235 total. Now, this is an interesting game for a couple of reasons. And honestly, I should have shared this before I started sharing my screen here. We have something we need to talk about. So this Pistons team is next level dog shit. So they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They've lost 13 straight games, as best I can tell. I think it's 13. And now they are facing, obviously, a fairly garbage Washington Wizards team. So if they don't win today, here is the schedule for the Detroit Pistons until we get to January 1st. The Wizards tonight. The Lakers, where they will unequivocally be underdogs. The Knicks, they will be underdogs. The Cavs, they will be underdogs. The Pacers bring their own set of problems. Sixers, Bucks, Hawks. They get the Utah Jazz on December 21st. Nets and Nets back-to-back. Celtics, and then Raptors. These guys are super live to just be like on a, so they're 2 and whatever the hell. They beat the Hornets and the Bulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 13 straight losses. They are super live to maybe pick up 1 win in this entire range. Their pace going back to last year is as bad as any team that's ever existed. So they really need to get their Boyans back and all of those goons back, because things are looking bleak in Detroit, and they are live for a run out of losses to finish off this season. Should be fun for them. For now, though, Bojan Bogdanovic out, Joe Harris out, Monty Morris out. On the Wizards side, Jordan Poole questionable, DeLon Wright still out. We do get Bilal Coulibaly back. This is going to be a real dumpster fire of a basketball game. And I have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be fairly important, because it's a 5-game slate. We got to roster everybody today. That's what sucks. So as I get my minutes table locked and loaded, which I have here now. All right, I'm going to take one more sip of coffee. Oh, it's so warm. So good. When it hits your lips. All right, so obviously you guys got the Jordan Poole late scratch recently. I'm going to pull out some of these minutes here so that I can get Coulibaly back in for his standard run. You know what? I'm just going to reproject the entire rotation. Why not? It's easier. We go ahead and we get Daniel Gafford in for, see, the minutes fell back down again. I think 25 or 26 is probably the outcome we want. I'm going to go 26. Now, Gallo didn't play the second half of that back-to-back. We assume that he just hops right back in and does play the second half of that back-to-back. I'm going to go 17 minutes to Gallo. That seems about right. We're going to get Tyus Jones out there for 28 minutes. We are going to get Poole. Obviously, he does need to play. We're going to go 32 to Poole. That will allow us to go to, let's see, what do we want on, probably 32 on Kuzma as well. The rest of this should fill itself out pretty easily. We get Denny in for 28. What else do we need here? So then, who's next on the list of minutes? I guess Koulibaly is going to need 24, 26, something like that. We're going to get Kispert in for his 23. All right, we have 28 minutes left for Landry Shamet and probably Johnny Davis. So we're going to get Shamet, who's been playing pretty consistently around like 16 to 18 minutes. So I'm going to go 18 to Shamet, 10 to Johnny Davis. It's the only other one that's been seeing the floor in these situations. So let's move these minutes around because I want everybody to sort of be in the right spot finally. So let's move all these guys to where they're supposed to be. Bang, got it. Actually, you know what? We'll do bang, got it. So that's going to be the rotation for Washington. Rates are all good. I made those changes recently. Detroit, on the other hand, I also want to reproject. I think it's just easier to start with fresh rotations every Monday or Tuesday. And that's what we're going to do right here. So for Detroit, should be pretty easy here. We'll start off with Cade Cunningham. Get him in for 36. Duren played 29 on Friday. I'm just going to match that 29. That seems most reasonable. Now, they did something dumb, though. Duren came off the bench and played that 29? Am I remembering that correctly now? That did happen, right? Bagley started? Yeah. So Bagley started, but Duren still played 29 off the bench. They went first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, Bagley. They went Hayes, Burks, Livers, Beef Stew, Cunningham. I'm going to assume Duren starts. If he's able to play 29 off the bench, I don't know why they would, unless that's the way they want to stagger these guys, where they can get, because that really limits the amount of Duren Beef Stew together. They might do this. They might actually do this. It creates a weird situation for Beef Stew. Because we got the standard, like, Bogensy type start from Bagley. He doesn't have to play in the fourth quarter. What do we go? 18 to Bagley? Does that make the most sense? 17 to Bagley? That gives me 2 for Stu. He plays about 30 minutes a night, so we'll get him in for 28. Isaiah Livers played 26 now off the bench. Did close, which makes sense. They also started Jaden Ivey. He played full starter minutes, 32 minutes, in fact. Looks like that's going to stick now. So I think we go 30 to Ivy. Now, Asar Thompson didn't close, but still played 30 minutes. And I think that's probably the goal. I'm going to put 29 in for 1 second. Now, backup point guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they ran an 11-man rotation, but Sasser really only played in the first half. I think Sasser's done. Yeah. AJ, I don't think they brought him off the bench because of the injury and then played him 29 minutes. The injury clearly didn't matter. In fact, you would want to start people in that regard. I just think they realized during the game that look, I can see the scenario where you want Duren on the second unit opposite of Isaiah Stewart, but I think they're doing that all backwards. I get, it makes more sense to me to do it like that. I trust nothing that these idiots are doing. So we need to give at least 20 minutes to Isaiah Livers. And I can just give him the minutes that are at the 4 right now and make it easy. I think Killian Hayes subbed in for Jaden Ivey, but wasn't even Jaden Ivey's direct backup, although he kind of was. But he just really didn't. Like, he overlapped with him a little bit. So I think we're going to go like 16 minutes to Killian Hayes. Burks played a lot less. I don't think that's a long-term goal, or at least it shouldn't be. So that gets me to 9 guys. I do want to give more minutes to Isaiah Livers, who, look, he played backup run and closed the second and fourth quarters. At the very least, he's playing 24. And then final guy that I'm missing is, I don't know, Stanley Amudi, I guess. He could have 11. Hayes has been on a downslope since the moment he stepped on the floor in the NBA. I mean, no disrespect to Killian, but it's true. All right, so game number 1. Let's see what we've got here. All right, we're nice and zoomed in for everybody. All right, on the Pistons side, remember, 235 total. Game looks good. $5,400 Jaden Ivey is, to me, the clear best option from Detroit. Right around a fantasy point per minute here against Washington. Best value by far. Love Jaden Ivey. I had a ton on Friday. Don't expect that to be any different, but everybody else, though. Asar Thompson for $6,500. Cade for $8,300. $3,500 Isaiah Livers, who has been at 0.47. That's really bad. $5,500 B. Stu, power forward center. $6,700 Duren. I like all of these guys. They're all 5X dudes right out of the gate. Ivy knocking on a much higher number. I really like the Pistons side, which is, not great. Not what you're looking for at all. On the Pistons look fantastic. On the Washington side, I think we're going to look at $6,800 Jordan Poole as the best guy. But I'm going to say right away, I don't think Jordan Poole looks as good as any of those guys I just named for the Pistons. I have Poole behind all of them. And then I think Gafford at $5,700 is your other option. I'm not a big fan of Kyle Kuzma at that price tag and just power forward. Denny at $6,100 is probably overpriced by a hair. No interest in Tyus Jones whatsoever. These guys look bad. But if you're getting Danny, Poole will be, I don't want to say Poole will be popular, but he's a guy you get to today for sure if he's in. Otherwise, for Washington, nothing. If we get news that Poole ends up out, then, we're probably looking at least a little bit of value on Koulibaly or Kispert. Someone else, maybe Shamet can project a little bit better, although I don't know. Surely Kyle Kuzma will look a little bit better in that scenario, but for right now, Poole is your best wizard. But that's damning with faint praise. Next up, this should be a real gem. Indy might score 9 million points here. It's going to be contact again. These morning contacts, man. Not fun. Portland Trailblazers are 12-point dogs in Indy, 241 total. Now, for the Pacers, Aaron Nesmith still questionable. He has not played the previous 2 games, but we did get Nembhard back on Friday. So this should be a fairly standard rotation. Okay, so they played... I got to look at this one. Oh, this is the same game. Interesting. So they played... Isaiah Jackson is just like playing now. And Jalen Smith is now at the 4 as Obi Toppin's straight back. Actually, they basically just did Isaiah Jackson and Obi Toppin, or Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith line change for Miles Turner and Obi Toppin. But Toppin came off first. Okay, so that's what we're going to project them like that. We got to get to Portland first, but Indiana's doing something interesting right now. And I don't know if that's, I'm guessing it's just a Nesmith thing, which means that like that won't happen again. But they went straight back up Jackson to Turner, straight back up Smith to Toppin. So it's going to be really, I'm assuming that we just kick that down a notch and Nesmith comes back and Jackson goes away. But it's interesting that they're using Jalen Smith as the 4 in this scenario. Now, let's look at Portland. On the Portland side, we do not have an injury report for Portland. They played yesterday. And we did get 34 minutes out of Brogdon. Now, they are on back-to-backs. On the 21st and 22nd, they were on the back-to-back. Brogdon played 24 minutes in both. Now they played yesterday, and they'll play again today. Should we be expecting Malcolm Brogdon to play? I assume we do, but like that seems weird. Josh Locks, there's no listed as a starting 5. That's not wherever you're looking at that isn't a real place. Okay, so I guess we're going to go Ayton in for 32 minutes. Jeremy Grant in for his 36. Yeah, you can ignore that. You can totally ignore that. I mean, like, literally never look at it. All right, so I guess we're going to get Kamara. I mean, this dude's minutes are just never the same. Last 4 games, 17, 28, 39, and 15. 15 was with no Scoot and no Brogdon, so even weirder. Yeah, I think we just go 26 on Kamara. Scoot came off the bench, played 27 minutes. So let's say we get Malcolm Brogdon 32. It's hard to go more than that. It's hard to ever expect 34 minutes for a team that's a 12-point dog. And then we'll get Shaden Sharp in there for 36, 35. Then we get Scoot, who was able to play standard backup rotation first half. Standard backup rotation, but closed over Kamara. They closed Sharp, Brogdon, Scoot against the Bucks. It's amazing they lost that game. It's almost like those 3 guys shouldn't have been up there yesterday. So I mean, I don't want to, I can't go like, If he didn't close, he would have played 22 minutes. So I'm going to say that he has the ability to go to 24. Next man up, Jabari Walker, first guy off the bench. He played 16. That feels safe. Who did he come on for? Actually checked in for Kamara, I guess. So Doo-Wop, that Reith, was the backup center. They also went to a lineup where Jabari Walker was the center. Or I guess technically Jeremy Grant, if you want to go that direction. So let's say we get Reith playing 12. We get Jabari Walker playing 16. That covers me there. Final guy that we're missing here. So Thibault, is that like 22 or 24 minutes off the bench? If we go 22 there, where do we hide these final 5 minutes? Skylar Mays? That works for me. Now we'll look at the Indy side. So I think we have to just disregard that previous Isaiah Jackson rotation and treat Miles Turner and Jalen Smith like they're the center combo. But who knows? Who knows? We're going to put Miles Turner in for 28 minutes. I'm going to put Jalen Smith in for 19. I will hide 1 minute on Isaiah Jackson. Josh, Scoot Henderson played 27 minutes yesterday. Literally yesterday. Halliburton's going to get either 35 or 36. 35. I'm going to assume they continue the same starting lineup. I'm guessing we're going to get Nesmith off the bench, and we're going to keep Obi Toppin starting. So we're going to go 24-24 Toppin Nesmith. Mathurin played 31. Wow, they didn't. Why did Buddy Hield not? I guess because Mathurin was plus 27, and that's what they had to do. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, Raphael, let me hit on this one. You're not the first person to ask about Punk to WWE. Yeah, it's a bit of a perceptive blow to AEW. It'll definitely be a bump to ratings and things for WWE. He'll get sick of it, and something will happen. I can't imagine, like, the paycheck's going to be phenomenal. There's so much money to go around now that they're TKO group. So he's going to print money until he doesn't want to be there anymore and causes some stink. But, like, WWE's not wrestling, so it's hard to care. I can't watch that trash. That's not professional wrestling any longer. All right, we're going to go like 28 to Buddy Hield. I think we probably go like, what, 26 to Mathurin? We got to get Nemhard in for 18. Who are we missing? Oh, Bruce Brown. Easy. Bruce Brown needs 33. Leaves me 4 minutes left over. I'll hide those on Isaiah Jackson. Bada bing, bada boom. There's no telling what this looks like right now. Indiana. Okay. Jalen Smith, 4,200, is a bit of a problem here, assuming he is the backup. I don't think that feels comfortable. But if Aaron Nesmith happens to be out, then I think you feel really good about a $4,200 Jalen Smith. It sucks that he's center only. That's pretty dumb considering he's very clearly the 4. But as I look at this, Jalen Smith is the guy that I want the most. Tyrese Halliburton. Wow, yeah, I just saw it. Tyrese Halliburton is 11K. That's going to be a pretty tough sell with Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid on the slate, when LeBron and AD, and that's just going to be hard. But he doesn't look bad. Like, I got him at 1.54 fantasy points per minute. That's a lot. By the way, 7 o'clock, 160 viewers. Hit that like button. And if you're just tuning in the middle of this, link in the description. Our NBA lineup generator is $4.95 for Cyber Monday. This is only today and tomorrow. Use the promo code VALUE, but I've got a link semi-loaded in here. You're going to need to type in the coupon code VALUE, all caps, VALUE, $4.95 for the lineup generator. To me, personally, I think this is the best deal that affects the most amount of people that watch this show and play DFS. I personally think the lineup generator is the perfect way to get in the door. And at $4.95, you have a really difficult time not being able to justify that. I don't like telling people what to do with their money, but I think this is dollar for dollar the best thing that we offer. And I love the idea of pushing this for $4.95. You should come in at that number. Bruce Brown's fine. Benedict Matherin's fine. Look, Halliburton's fine at 11K. There's just, other pay-ups, but he's fantastic. I got him at 25 and 11, But nobody just stands out more than Jalen Smith. And he doesn't even have to be the backup, which is frightful. If it happens to be, let me be very clear here, actually. If Aaron Nesmith is out, based on the rotation they ran against the Pistons, and now maybe they did that because it's the Pistons, but if Aaron Nesmith is out, Isaiah Jackson might be like the best value on the slate. If he's just the straight backup to Turner and Jalen Smith is just the straight backup to Obi Toppin, then you're expecting Isaiah Jackson at a 1.2 fantasy point per minute guy to get 20 minutes at 3,600. That's a for everything that I'm saying about Jalen Smith right now, Isaiah Jackson will look better than that. These guys are basically the same on a per minute basis. They're not all that different. If you're projecting Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith for the same amount of minutes, you best believe you're getting to the $3,600 guy. So keep that in mind. If Nesmith is out, the best two plays on the Pacers are Isaiah Jackson, the backup center, and Jalen Smith, the backup 4. Think about that for a while. Put that in your brain. That is important information. And we will have this answer because we have 3 7 o'clock starts before we jump to the late games. Now, Portland. That's one I want to dig into with Adam later this morning. So make sure you're watching the strategy show. 6,900 for DeAndre Ayton. Look, every center basically looks good every day. So I am more than okay getting to DeAndre Ayton, who I think is the best option for Portland today. We got to remember, amazing matchup on the opposite side. One of the worst defenses, the fastest team in basketball. Amazingly, these guys are so bad that they don't actually create much value otherwise. $7,600 Jeremy Grant is fine. Kamara at 4,300 is gross, but fine. I don't think you're really going to Brogdon or Sharp or Scoot with any sort of real priority. As we keep it moving, we go to Lakers and Sixers. This one's in Philly. 231 total. Lakers are 5-point dogs. Now, as we look at this one for the Lakers, AD probable, LeBron questionable, Cam Reddish questionable, no Rui, no Vandy, no Vincent. Man, Lakers are they're missing a lot of rotation pieces. So I think we get Cam Reddish straight back into the 30 minutes or so he was playing a night. We got to bring Reeves back down by 2. Max Christie likely maintains those minutes. Jackson Hayes plays. Christian Wood plays. LeBron for 35. AD for 36. So who are we missing here? Nobody. I'm at 341 minutes. Awesome. This is easier than I thought. Bang. Done. Man, that coffee's hitting the spot. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, now I'm back. Danny, I'm not so sure you should be drunk at 7:08 a.m. Shout out to New Mexico. Go get that blue meth. That should be fine. Let's try the Philly side of this one now. Had to respond to a DM there, folks. For Philly, Daniel House questionable. Kelly Oubre still out with his mysterious car accident. Jaden Springer is questionable. Last time I projected this team, Joel Embiid wasn't in, so obviously we need to rip this one down to the studs. No other choice. All right, so we get Embiid in for 35. We get Maxey in for 38. We get DeAnthony Melton in for 30. Seems good. Let's pull up. Did Embiid play? Was that the last game or 2 games ago? It was 2 games ago. So on the 25th, Philly played OKC. Yeah, let's get that one open. Yeah, I don't know what the drinking rules are in New Mexico S&P. Maybe the bars close at 5 like New York. Who? Okay, so Batum. It's wild to me. The minutes for Nick Batum so far have been nuts. 17, 26, 26, 33, 24, 27, 24, 33. So that's what, 26 minutes a night for Batum? 28? It doesn't really matter, I guess. Toby in for 35 feels about right. All right, so maybe they really are consolidating this rotation now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're going 9. They're going 9. I don't know if that's a Springer thing or what. Marcus Morris is working his way into like being a dude. Although Embiid played the entire first quarter and entire third quarter. So they are going with Marcus Morris at the 4 alongside Paul Reed to a degree. They are playing Marcus Morris alongside Embiid. So they're just going 4-5 for, well, I guess just straight 4 for Morris. He played 14 minutes. I think that's a new goal. He's the second guy off the bench. They didn't go to House. Was House out? Probably because he was questionable. All right, I need to look at the injury report for the 25th for Philly. So that would be 6 p.m. on the 25th, right? Did I get that right? Nope, sure didn't. Oh, that's because I don't know how to make a capital P. There we go. Philly, House out. Okay, so it was just House. So Springer was available and they just didn't play him. Now Covington is probably playing about 18 minutes. And then we're going to get Pat Bev in for something in that 16 range. The real question becomes, what do we do? Do we think they're going 10-man rotation or 9-man rotation? I'm going to say they split those minutes between House and Morris. So I'm going to go 14 House, 13 Morris. I think that makes the most sense. Now, rates do need to be looked at, unfortunately. But what I want to do first is just simply check out the props here and see how well my model is hitting this. Embiid for 32.5 points. I got 33.3. Perfect. Maxey 26.5 to the under. All right, I got 24.5. Now, he has been slightly more important. So I do want to bump him 1 percentage point of usage. That actually brings Embiid down too perfectly. 17.5 to Harris. Perfect. Melton's at 13.5. Little light, don't mind it. Batum is at 6. Silly. All right. So I'm pretty happy there. I know that I need to make changes to to the usage rates here for these guys, or to the assist rates rather for these guys. That they're on a different level now that Harden's not here, and it's going to take a little bit of time to like boil that out of their projections. Assist prop, it's about 6 for Joel Embiid. I got him at 4.5, but it's because his assist rate is just not going to match up. Yeah, so he's at 8.8 per 100 possessions. I got him at 6. So if I bump that up to 8, that takes him to 5.5. And like I said, his prop is 5.5 to the over. I don't want to go too crazy, but I will go 8.5. And then Maxey's prop is at 6.5 juice to the over. So we want to be in that 6.5 to 7 range. We have him at 4.7 because his assist rate is also around 8.5 and not 6. That jumps him to 5.9. Still a little light, if I'm being honest, but I can't go any higher than that. Harris is at 2.5. He doesn't really do it either way. Melton is around 3. Perfect. So those rates I'm now happy with. I guess I should just look at the points props quickly for LeBron and AD since they're the only things that really matter. LeBron, I've got at 24.7. That's right. I've got 80 at 23. He's at 24.5 juice to the under. So that all looks good. So on the Philly side, I think the first guy you're trying to go to is Embiid at 11.7. But the relationship between his price and Jokic's price will be massive. And I guess Anthony Davis's price to a degree. You got to get center right between those three guys first. That's like the first decision point. Maxey at 9,200. Hard to get to. Harris at 6,900, hard to get to. $4,200 Batum is like a pretty reasonable value if you think he just plays full starter minutes. This is absolutely the type of game where you expect Batum to play a lot. You know, being on the opposite side of like LeBron James in this spot. Not a lot to like here though for Philly. It is Embiid leading that one off. On the Lakers side, D'Angelo Russell, maybe, who I probably have projected for too many minutes to begin with. I mean, these guys just don't look that great at all. Yeah, I got to take a minute off of Russell right away. I can see it already. We'll get him down to 30. Give Jackson Hayes another minute. There is nothing to like on the Lakers. It's AD and LeBron in theory. None of that looks good, though. None of it. I actually need to take like another minute away from Christian Wood, too. I don't want him to look any good. This Lakers team, this whole game, Lakers and Philly, does not look great at all. I think you have to like Embiid more than AD. But this is a bad spot. It's a bad spot. Look, Philly's slow. This is a pace down spot for the Lakers. That's not helping. Not a great game. We're not going to see a lot of them in the crunches. Now we get to the 9 o'clock starts. This is Pels 4-point favorites in Utah. 229 total. On the New Orleans side, we have no CJ, no Trey Murphy, no Matt Ryan. So this is going to be basically the same thing we've been seeing. We've got BI in for 35. Did they go to OT? No, they didn't. Jordan Hawkins just played 40 minutes, obviously. Why he played 40 minutes? Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, this is Adam's winning night. No wonder. So Hawkins just played crazy minutes. Okay, I'm going to gut this entire rotation just because I don't trust it. If Jordan Hawkins is starting, he couldn't miss. He had 25 points in 40 minutes. He's 8 of 17 from the field. He's barely good. I guess he couldn't miss in the first quarter. Yeah, he was 4 of 7 in 10 minutes in the first quarter and then only had 10 points for the rest of the game. All right. Obviously, we're not expecting him to continue to play those kinds of minutes, especially when Zion is back. I assume he just takes Zion's spot. So we're going to get Zion in for 33. We're going to get Joe Val in for 26. We're going to get Dyson Daniels in for 30, right? Yeah, got to be 30 at least. Then we get Herb. Herb playing, I don't know, 28 a night. We get 35 to BI. So there's your starters. Alvarado up to 22 minutes. I think we can go 18 there. We pop Hawkins in for 22. Nance just still not really playing all that much. Played 12 minutes. We're going to go 14. Cody Zeller also played 21 and a half minutes. Now, that probably has a little bit to do with Zion, but, you know, he does play from time to time. Najee Marshall played 20. Again, no Zion, but had been playing 20 minutes a night anyway. That leaves me 6 minutes left over for whom? I don't want to go to more of Jordan Hawkins. He's not playing that much. 20 in the previous two. I guess we'll go to 24. It's not really going to matter all that much. I'll throw 2 more onto Cody Zeller, and then I'll hide 2 on Kira Lewis. All right. That's going to be the Pels. On the Utah side, what do we know for the Jazz? Q-tag on Clarkson, Q-tag on Markkanen. So we're live to get that nonsense once again. Walker Kessler is back. We're going to reproject this entire lineup. So I'm going to assume... did Kessler start 2 nights ago? No, came off the bench. Started Yurtsevin, obviously. Okay. I mean, how do we handle this then? So who do we think is the... So if everybody's in, it's going to be George, Clarkson, Markkanen, Collins, question mark? They're not going to start Yurtseven over Kessler, right? They're like, this is just, we project this like it was. This has to be the starting lineup. I think we're going 24 to Walker Kessler. If you could play 21 off the bench, you could play 24 as the starter. So we're going to go 24 to Walker Kessler. We're going to go 30 to John Collins. We're going to go 34 to Lauri Markkanen. We're going to go 32 to Jordan Clarkson. And we're going to go 28 to Keontae George. Good start. Now, the real question becomes, does Omer Yurtseven play? I'm guessing the answer is no. I'm guessing we go ahead and grab Kelly Olynyk. And we give Kelly Olynyk 20 minutes. And then I move more minutes over to the 4 from here. And then it's all just bench run, right? We get, THT. Is he just going to play 20 as a backup? Sure. And then you get Agbaji for 16, 14 for Fontecchio. I need to get Colin Sexton out there. Man, Colin Sexton, this dude just does not play. And then I'll hide 2 on Yurtseven. Perfect. Now, I didn't play the slate that those guys were out, so actually all of my rates can just stay the same. I don't expect to like Utah here. Yeah, we do not like Utah. Oh, boy. If they don't have dudes out, we might literally not be playing the Jazz. Yeah, S&P. They also didn't close with John Collins. They closed with Colin Sexton, Kelly Olynyk, Keontae George, Fontecchio, and Yurtseven. I don't trust any bit of this. Any bit of it. Look, this team doesn't look good. 55, like Walker Kessler's already 5,500. But, I mean, Clarkson's overpriced at 7,400 in a good, like I have him projected well. Markkanen's 8,500. No, I don't like anything from the Jazz. They look downright terrible. And then for New Orleans, equally as bad. BI and Zion are both there, and they're the guys that you can get to. Toasted Biscuits, good morning. Everybody else looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. This game's awful. And I have a sneaky suspicion Denver and the Clippers is going to be worse. So let's go to Denver. What do we know for the Nugs? All right, so they're on the back-to-back, so we don't know anything. It also means that we don't really have to care too much. Like, this is just the same team we always get. Oh, shit. They played DeAndre Jordan yesterday? Forgot he was on the team. Oh, yeah. They played San Antonio. Oh, DeAndre Jordan was in the rotation. What happened to Zeke Naji? Did he get hurt? He picked up 2 personal fouls, came out, and never saw the floor again. They just went to Jordan. Whatever. They could have it. I don't think there's anything that I need to change here other than... Like, Strother got his normal minutes. Justin Holiday didn't play. Peyton Watson got his normal bench run. So they went 1, 2, 3. So they went to a 9-man rotation. Like, I'm just going to say that if DeAndre Jordan, Zeke Naji in this scenario, they went to a 9-man rotation. I don't know where those minutes go. give another one to Christian Brown, I guess. Oh, Justin Holiday did start. What am I saying? Makes sense. Aaron Gordon didn't play. What was wrong with Aaron Gordon yesterday? Who knows? Gordon was questionable with a right heel strain, didn't play. All right, so we will have him in for today. So I think I'm good here because it's just bench guys that I don't trust. 33 minutes for KCP. Do I need another minute there? Probably. I think it's pretty safe to just use that for Denver. The Clippers generally do not do well against the Denver Nuggets. We'll see what we get here out of the Clips. Final team to look at for today. No Brandon Boston, no Mason Plumlee. Everything we already know. Tice played 16 minutes their last time out. We got 34 for Harden. I'm okay with that. 35 for Kawhi. I'm okay with that. 36 for Paul George. I'm okay with that. Russ is like right around 24. That's fine. Zoo is probably going to come down a little bit. Give another one to Tice. Tucker out there just playing like random minutes. Man finally got up to 32. Can't trust that at all. Powell played 24. I mostly feel good here. I mean, as good as one can. So as we look at the Clippers, I think 8K Kawhi is my preferred option here. I guess. $8,800 Paul George is like a slightly better option, and you get way better positionality. But I don't think he projects that well. Harden's fine at 7,800. There's not much here for the Clippers. On the Denver end, now reminder, we could create a little bit more value if Aaron Gordon ends up out. Like, if he ends up out, then we get Justin Holiday starting again at 3,300. That'll be some sort of value. Christian Brown will look a little bit more interesting, but if you're going anywhere, it's 12-8 Jokic. And that's kind of a tough sell against the Clippers. We got to remember, 218 total. That's 12 points less than Lakers Philly, which we didn't like. 23 less than Portland Indy. I mean, we're talking 17 less than Washington and Detroit. This is a tough spot, and it's because Denver's ultra slow. The Clippers are ultra slow. Very difficult game. The late night hammers are made out of cotton. All right. Let's run some crunches. I don't have anything else to look at right now. These crunches are going to be inundated with early games. There's basically no way to not like the early games and barely like those two late games. It's staggering, honestly. So I'm going to load these projections up now. Let's change the shared screen. Bang. So there we go. We got that in. Now let's grab projections, and we'll take a look at DraftKings optimals for today. Here we go. First one up. And hit that like button if you haven't done it yet to the 180 people that are here. Optimals. 260.2. Optimal lineup by 0.3. Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin, Bruce Brown, Kawhi Leonard, Jalen Smith, Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, DeAndre Ayton. Jaden Ivey made all 50. Cade and Jalen Smith were in the 80s. Asar Thompson, 70. Bruce Brown, 60. Isaiah Livers, DeAndre Ayton, both in the 50s. I mean, Is that fun to look at? No. Does it make a lot of sense? 100%. I expect this to be relatively flat with randomness because there wasn't too much that could just pull away from the pack. Yeah, like I expected Ivy to. He was the best thing that we saw right out of the gate. But it is pretty flat after that. Ivy in 59% of that 150. Livers gets to 38%. Then it's Jalen Smith at 33, Bruce Brown at 32. Big pack of guys in the 20s. Asar, Isaiah Stewart, Cade Cunningham, Ayton, Batum, Turner, Mathurin, Harden, Kamara. You're seeing that there's not a lot of value on this slate right now with some of the names that are popping up. We're also having a boatload of trouble getting all the way to the top. Not that that's all that surprising. We got to 5% of Jokic, 11 of Embiid, which immediately lets me know it's hard to get to Jokic with Embiid on the slate. I got to 17% Maxey at 9,200. That surprises me. That must just be a build thing right now. Because it's Tyrese Halliburton's a better point per dollar play, but I just don't know if we have the ability to get to that salary tier. Let's check out FanDuel, and then we're going to get out of here. Contenders, prize picks, strategy show, deeper dive. I'm around for all of it, folks. You're not going to miss a thing. Let's go ahead and grab the FanDuel projections. Optimal lineups on FanDuel. 304.42. It's the optimal lineup by 0.09. Halliburton, Poole, Healed, Ivy, Ingram, Bruce Brown, Jeremy Grant, Tumani Kamara, DeAndre Ayton. It always looks better on FanDuel. The second lineup on FanDuel has got Zion, B.I., Toby, Jalen Duren, Cade. Much different lineup. But it all just looks better on FanDuel. As we slap some randomness on it, I'm expecting FanDuel to also be relatively flat. Hey, you've got Ivy pulling away. Healed, Bruce Brown, and Cade in that like 35 to 40 range. And then it's just a sea of 20s. Kamara, Zion, Poole, Ingram, Harden, Grant, Toby, Halliburton, Shaden Sharp, Malcolm Brogdon. Folks, we are done here. We are done here. Another process show in the books. We've got a really good week of games. I don't know if anybody's taken a look at the schedule as of yet. So tomorrow, we have 8 games. They're in-season tournament games, which means none of those teams are on a back-to-back, at least not on the back end of a back-to-back. So everybody that plays today definitely doesn't play tomorrow. Wednesday, we have a 7-gamer. So that's 5 games, 8 games, 7 games. We've got 9 on Thursday, and then we close it out with 6 on Friday. This is a perfect week of NBA DFS action. These slates are exactly what I'm looking for. I'm pumped for all of it. I hope you guys are too. Reminder, Cyber Monday promo. The promo code is VALUE. You get our NBA lineup generator for $4.95. Link in the description. I'm going to get on out of here. I've got contenders to record. I got to prep for the NBA strategy show. It's been a good one. Don't miss it. Link in the description. Click the like button. I'm out of here. Peace. This was The Process.